about the worst period of my life. A single mistake on a single job. And it nearly shut my business down, destroyed my relationship, and pushed me into the darkest places I've ever been. I'm not sharing this for sympathy. I'm sharing this because I know someone watching right now is standing in the exact same place that I was, questioning everything, wondering if it is even worth continuing. This is a story of what happened, what I learned, and why one mistake, no matter how big this feels, does not define you or your future. It started like any other project. I was brought on to film a course for a client, multi-camera setup, professional production, the kind of job I've done before and done well. But the timeline was a little tight. This course was launching in weeks. There was no room for error. The first location we scouted would have been perfect, but construction had taken it off the table. So we had to pivot, and we found another space, and it looked fine on the surface. Well, it looked fine to me. Here's where I made mistake number one. When you're filming long-form videos, especially over multiple days, you must set your white balance to manual. If you leave it on auto, the camera constantly tries to adjust to changing lighting conditions. And if you've got sunlight involved, clouds rolling in and out, warmth shifting, the color temperature in your footage can change completely from shot to shot. And I mean completely, from cold blue to warm, hot orange. Now, we had the sun, we had clouds, we had a full day of shifting light, and I left the white balance on auto. Mistake number two, and this one is quite sneaky. It might even capture some professionals. So listen up. This one will catch you without you even realizing it. The venue had mirrors in the background. Now, I don't mean just a mirror, I mean a whole wall of mirrors. So I was shooting with a low aperture, around 2.8, which gives you that cinematic depth of field look. It is very beautiful, but here was the problem. The mirrors behind the subject, the camera couldn't work out what to focus on. Was it the person presenting, or was it his reflection in the mirror? So it did what all cameras do when they get confused. It hunted back and forth, in and out of focus. This stuttering, shimmering autofocus effect running throughout the whole footage. And we did not catch it until after 3 days of shooting. Now, 3 days of footage, a client with a launch deadline breathing down our necks, and footage that, honestly, it just was not good enough. I made the call immediately. I offered all the money back, every single cent. And then I did something that maybe wasn't the smartest business decision, but it was the only one I could live with. I put in a full week of my own time in post-production to try and fix the problem in the footage because we couldn't reshoot. So we had multiple editors, multiple team members, all of us working through the footage, trying to color correct the white balance shifts, trying to smooth out that autofocus hunting. It was an absolute nightmare. And through all of that, I just started falling apart. I'm someone who takes quality seriously, and it's not just a professional thing, it's personal. So when I put my name on something, it means something to me. So when the quality wasn't there, I didn't just feel like I'd let down a client. I felt like I let down everything that I stood for. And that is where imposter syndrome walked in and made itself at home. You know what imposter syndrome feels like? It's not just self-doubt. It's this voice that says, see, you're never as good as you thought. You've been pretending this whole time. Everyone is about to find out. I did what I was doing when that voice hopped in my head. I started questioning my prices, questioning whether I should even be charging what I was charging, thinking about doing jobs for free just to prove that I was worth something. I was ready to shut my business down, like completely. And then that's just started bleeding into my relationship. When you're carrying that much weight internally, that much shame, that much anxiety, you stop showing up for the people around you. I was depressed, I was distant, I was exhausted. My partner could feel it, and it was putting everything we had under pressure. To me, I didn't know if I was good enough for her. I didn't know if I had anything left to give her. And then I had to leave the country for work. And that's when everything hit at once. I was away from home, my relationship on the rocks, business feeling like it was crumbling, and all of it was just compounding. Every day adding just more and more weight. I started having some really dark thoughts about my life, about whether things would just be easier if I wasn't around. Now, I want to say that clearly, because I think a lot of people in business go through moments like that and never talk about it. And that silence makes it worse. I'm not going to sit here and tell you there was one magic moment that fixed everything. That's not how it works. But what I can tell you is that it will pass slowly, and a few things definitely helped. Number one, I stopped treating the mistake as a verdict on who I am. A mistake is just data. It tells you what to fix. It doesn't tell you what you're worth. Now, the white balance issue, I now teach that in my filming course. It's one of the first things that I cover because of what happened on that job. That mistake has now helped dozens of people avoid the same problem. The mirror autofocus issue, same thing. I know exactly how to scout a location now. I know what to look for. That knowledge that came from failure, not from success. Now, number two, I had to let people in. And this was a really, really hard one for me. When you're going through something like that, there's this pull to isolate, to handle it quietly, to not let anyone see that you're struggling, especially in business, where everyone's supposed to look like they have it all together. But the people around you, the right people, they want to help, so let them in. And number three, and this is the one that took me longest to accept. One mistake does not define your business or you. Every single person that you admire in business, every creator, every entrepreneur, every professional who looks like they've got it all figured out, has a story like mine. Probably more than one. The difference isn't that they never failed. The difference is they didn't let the failure be the final word. My business is thriving. The skills I have now, the processes, the checklists, the eye for detail on location are a direct result of that terrible week. I am better at what I do because of that mistake. The relationship I thought I was losing, we worked through it because when I started being honest about what I was carrying, things started to shift. And the client that I had, I made it right. And that is all you can do if you make a mistake for a client. I will never make those two technical mistakes ever again. But more importantly, I would never again let a mistake spiral into a story about who I am. That is the real lesson. If you're watching this and you're a new business owner or you're thinking about starting, I need you to hear this. You will make mistakes, expensive ones, embarrassing ones, ones that keep you up at night. That is not a sign you are in the wrong industry. That's a sign you're building something real, something that you really care about. What you do after the mistake, that is what matters. Acknowledge it, fix what you can, compensate where it is right to do so, learn everything you possibly can from it, and then move forward. Don't let one bad job convince you to shut the doors on everything that you've been building. And if it's gone beyond just the business, If it's gotten dark, please talk to someone, a friend, a partner, a professional. Don't carry that alone. I almost did. I'm glad I didn't. One mistake does not define you. Keep going.